about me a little bit later, but I am not the most important thing. I just want to say thank you so much to Collaborative for Children for everything that you've done for each one of our centers. Your gifts, those vouchers. Everybody say those vouchers.
Those vouchers.
Those vouchers, they've done so much for us.
Yeah.
Please put your hands together. My. Some of us after Harvey, we were in such a particular place, right? It took us a while to recover. Thank you. It took us a while to recover emotionally and financially, and some of us are still recovering financially. And for those of you who were impacted by the last storm, my prayers are sincerely with you. But today we're going to talk about something very important, child care staffing for success. How many of you know that staff is a special thing?
Yes.
I just want you to take a walk with me in your center. And how you have to open that center every morning, 5:30, 6 o'clock, and turn on those lights and make sure the sign-in sheets are out. Make sure there's enough milk for the day. Yeah. But what if you could share that responsibility with a capable, qualified, minimum standards knowing, I mean a bad staff. So bad that they're good. That's the kind of staff that we want. It takes a special person. What if you could leave your center without trembling in fear that something would go on? What if you knew they were going to wash their hands before and after they Oh, I'm feeling my people in the room right now. What if they actually signed in and out exactly when they came in? Am I talking to my owners right now?
Yes.
What if they actually put the notes that you type in the backpack? Can I get a witness? It takes a special person, right, to do child care. And but what we do know about our staff is that if we can teach them to do better, some of them will. And those that won't, we have to do what we need to do to make sure that we have a healthy and safe center for the children that we love and that we serve every day. So we think in our mind about this perfect employee, right? And you know, we have this mental picture of them coming in early. You know, they're pressed, the uniform shirt is all good. You don't see that line from the rag. Is there one in the room? Right? You know what I'm talking about. You envision someone coming in actually wanting to say, good morning. Now, hey, y'all. You know what I'm talking about? Okay. We think about this perfect staff member, but we don't always attract this person. So I'm going to talk to you today about attracting this person. Because this is all of them in the interview, right? They come in and they're talking to little Johnny. Hey, Johnny. You're walking them around the building. Hey, precious. Right? This is them in the middle of training. Where did the demon come from? This is not how you were doing the interview. And sometimes by the end of the week, this is what we're dealing with. Just me? And sometimes I'm the one that's running them out the door. But sometimes, even though we see this person in the interview and we think that they're great, sometimes they're just not the right staff for our building. So we're going to talk about today how we can get that ideal engagement. This is what we want to see, right? This is one of my favorite. Have y'all ever seen Kindergarten Cop?
Yes.
Now y'all know how old I am. Post it on Facebook if you want to, and I will find you. But we want to see them playing with the kids, engaging with the kids, but that's not always the way it happens. So I want to tell you a little bit about me, and you may be thinking, why should I listen to this loud, vivacious person? I've been in education for 22 years. I started out with my very first classroom at the age of 19. And I've learned a lot from the kids I've taught. I've taught over 5,000 kids in my career. I have 6 children of my own and a grandbaby. We've revenued over $4 million in our business in the last 6 years. I've supervised and led large teams of over 200 people. I'm a business consultant and a mentor, and I'm most proud of being the director of the Child Care Millionaires Association. You can clap.
Woo woo!
But all of that ain't nothing at 6 o'clock in the morning when my director ain't there.
Yeah.
I'm just tired, mad, and disgusted, just like you are. So all of those accolades and those great things are good find yourself mopping and cleaning the toilet, and you're wondering yourself like, where did I go wrong? Right? So I want to take you to a day that changed my life. So one morning, I got a text. My first call came in at 4:15. Miss Woods, I'm not going to be able to make it today. Oh, okay. All right. We still got enough staff. 5:30. Miss Woods, I'm not going to be able to make it today. My child is in the hospital. Okay. I opened the building by myself because my opener's not there. And then buses are running, right? We're a little understaffed. And I feel myself just doing everything. That day, our stove caught on fire. So I have a short staff, my stove is on fire, and I'm thinking, okay, 11 o'clock comes, my 12 o'clock person calls and says, I'm in an accident. I'm not going to be able to be there on time. By this time, something in my body has heated up to a temperature that I don't like. And I'm asking myself, why am I in this position? Do I not have enough staff? Do I not have the right staff? Why am I doing more than I need to do? Why am I in my center an hour after it closes? Why are we not using the 12 hours that we're open every day? Why am I not delegating some of my responsibilities? Why am I not putting the same pressure on the people that I pay that I'm putting on myself? So have you been there? Mm-hmm. Have you been tired? Mm-hmm. Disgusted?
Yes.
Overworked?
Yes.
And we get paid less?
Yes.
That was the day I decided that I needed to look at my processes and procedures. And I realized it did not start when they hit the floor. It started during my hiring process. So is it all right if I over-deliver today?
Yes.
We give you some good stuff.
Bring it.
If you want the good stuff, you got to say, give me the good stuff.
Give me the good stuff.
Because you're not going to be looking at me like, oh, this is great. No, I need you to talk back to me just like we want the kids. Don't make me make you sing your ABC. Okay, we need the good stuff, Brandy. So we depend on our staff. No matter how competent or incompetent they are, we depend on them, right? But we want to attract the right staff. This is what I figured out. This is the real cost of me hiring you. $2,000. Because if I hire you the first 160 hours, you're really not on your own. For about the first month, I'm helping you in some kind of way. So whatever I'm paying you, and I'm going to say that's $10 if we add in taxes and everything. Some for you, this is more. Some for you, this is less. And then I have onboarding costs. I got to put you in ADP. I have to put you in this system. I got to teach you how to use Brightwheel.
Yeah.
Right? I'm using administrative hours. I'm making sure you have CPR. I'm making sure you're drug tested. I'm making sure you have background check. So before you ever hit my floor, my center has invested $2,000 in you. How many of you want to waste $2,000?
Oh, no.
Over and over and over and over. How many of you want to make sure that this $2,000 is an impactful investment in your center?
Yeah.
Say yes, yes?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So first we have to think about effective recruitment. Sometimes when we recruit, we think about who can help us. Has that question ever ran through your mind when you need somebody? Who do I know?
Yes.
I want you to just take your finger and take that question out of your mind. Pull hard. Take the question about who do I know out of your mind, and I want you to start getting a mental picture of who do I need. Because as long as we rely on who do I know, we will have a deficit in our business. So, no, if you're not happy, please do not apply to Imagine Me Academy. If your friends are unhappy, please do not refer them to Imagine Me Academy. Right? So if they're walking your business, say, I'm just wondering if you're hiring. We're good, right? So we need happy people. The other thing I want you to think about, don't recruit out of desperation. Don't wait until you need people to hire people. You should always be in a cycle of recruiting great talent. I can guarantee you Fortune 500 companies are now waiting for their CEO to retire to see who's going to be the next CEO. So you should be thinking about who are you going to hire to replace you when you need to be out, who can support you, and who you can train along the way. Think beyond who you know. Please don't just find warm bodies. Raise your hand if you have a warm body in your center. I want you, a warm body is a person who's just filling that position for the moment, right? They're just making sure the ratio is okay. Is there one with a warm body? I want you to think about how you can turn that warm body into a productive body. And if you can't, you have the responsibility of replacing them. Then you need to figure out where you're going to look for your jobs. I'm very skeptical about places like Craigslist, but I do use Facebook groups. Workforce is my favorite recruiter. Let them do the work for you. The state of Texas pays them to help people find jobs. My Lord. So can you help me? I need 10. I need 5. And they will help you. They will pull applicants for you. Also, work sites like Indeed. These are other places that you can find. Another thing you need to do is you need to have a tight job description. Like a tight one. So when they say, what do you need me to do? I need you to do all of these things. And your goal is for the job description to scare them. If it scares them, yay, we've done our job. We did our 50% of the hiring pool. Because that job description, how many of you know our work is hard? Popcorn style. What are some things that your caregivers do every day? Change diapers. What else? Wipe hands, clean. What else? We actually teach. What else?
Supervise.
They supervise. They take out trash and help with chores. Anything else? Cook. What else?
Drive buses.
They drive. They're nurses. Anything else? Okay, so if that person doesn't understand that from the beginning, then you've shot yourself in the foot already. They need to understand how comprehensive this job is because it's not simple, right? And because we're dealing with little people and their needs change every day, your job may change every day. So you telling me, I don't normally do this. It's okay, baby. We're going to do it today, right? So they need to understand the complexity of the job. The other thing is they need to understand the requirements. If they're not already able to understand the complexity and they don't meet the requirements, they may not be the right person for the job. And I know sometimes we try to fit people in the mold, but right now, we want our seniors to thrive, not just survive. Yes. We've been surviving long enough. Do you agree? Yes. I heard somebody go to church. We've been surviving long enough, but we want our businesses to thrive. We want to have some freedom to work on our business and not always be working in our business.
Amen.
We need to work on our marketing, on our program. Yes, but we can't do that if we're doing the job of the people that we hired, the work that they should be doing. The other thing I do, and I'm going to just hit this quick, I have my applicants do a pre-employment task. And sometimes it's simple. It'll be like, hey, please send me a picture of your ideal classroom. I want to know that they can Google. I want to know that they have some inspiration. If it's a director's job, I would say, please write a memo to staff about washing hands. I want to see their ability to communicate. So depending on the job, I may ask them to do something. If I'm hiring a new cook, I may say, please send me 3 of your best menu selections. You know, I want to know that they can come up with some genuine ideas. I also want them to make sure I get their resume, and people lie on resumes. So check resumes. You know, make sure you do your due diligence. The other things I do a phone interview. I really protect my time. Everybody say protect your time.
Protect your time.
I only mass hire. If I need 4 people, I'm going to hire 8. Because you must work at my center. I'm telling you, because only half of them are going to survive, right? And because I know that, I only do job fairs. I do a job fair every quarter. And I'm looking to have 10 to 12 applicants at that job fair at a minimum. And I'm always hiring. Because you need to know that in child care, people last about 8 months. Now, if they last more than 8 months, we're happy. We're nurturing them. We're giving them holidays, Chick-fil-A cards. We're taking them to dinner. We're asking them, hey, you need a babysitter?
Right.
All that stuff, right? Because we don't want to keep investing $2,000.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So it's very important that we retain. I have 22 employees. 18 of them have been with me more than 3 years.
Amen.
I'm so proud of that because now I hired a few that didn't make it in the number, but the ones who stayed, they have been so instrumental to our company. So I want to give you a foolproof hire system. Hire slow, fire fast. I'm telling you guys, if in the first week or 2 you know this person's not going to work out, cut your losses. And I know that sounds bad, but if someone didn't have your children's best interest in heart or your business best interest in heart in the first 2 weeks, the chances of them having it in the first 12 months is very slim. Okay? So if you made a bad hiring choice, suck it up put your
Big
girls on and go ahead and make sure that you're making sure you're taking care of the health of your organization. So the key to hiring is to have a system. Be prepared, have questions. These are some of the questions that I have, and we're about to do an activity, right? And half of us are going to do one activity, and half of us are going to do another activity. So be ready for these instructions real quick. One of the questions that I asked them is, tell me what you would do if you needed to cover for a pre-K 3 class. Why do you think I said cover for one? Yeah, I want to set the expectation of you may not be where you think you're going to be every day. Because I'm not where I think I'm going to be every day. Tell me about a time you didn't agree with a coworker. And if they say, I get along with everybody, do not hire them. Liar, pants on fire. You don't get along with everybody. I don't even get along with myself on Wednesday morning. So I know for sure that you don't get along with everybody. Give me your top 3 to-dos and not to-dos. So use open-ended questions. Don't ask yes or no questions. Hey, what are 3 things that you should never do with a student? Right? And if they don't say never hit a student, don't hire them, right? It's some things that you're looking for. If they say for dues, oh, we should have our lessons planned. Okay, tell me more. We're looking for some things, some key indicators that is intrinsic in them that we don't have to deliver to them. It's kind of like K. Michelle has a song called Can't Raise a Man. I don't know. I've never tried that. But I know one thing. I can't teach you how to be an adult. I can teach you how to be a good teacher, but you have to have some adulting on your own, okay? So these are some of the questions that I ask, and then I rate them in these categories: experience, education, availability, attitude, and trainability. If they do not meet expectations in at least 3 of these things, I can't train you on all 5. Right? So if you don't have experience, but you have a great attitude, you have great trainability, I can work with that. But you may have 10 years of experience, but you mad as a bulldog. Well, I can help you get them straight. Not here you can't, because that's not our philosophy. That's not our school spirit, right? So I'm looking for someone who can meet my culture. Everybody's school culture is a little different. So we're going to do an activity. My first 3 rows, I want you to draw a person. It can be a stick figure. It doesn't have to be elaborate. And I want you to tell me the key things that you're looking for in an employee from head to toe. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Knees and toes.
I was going to say, y'all all okay. My second row, I want you to come up with 3 great interview questions. Now, we only have 2 minutes, so this is like a turbo activity. Are you ready? First row, head to toe. What would you look for in an employee? My second table, you're going to come up with 3 great interview questions. Yes, you're going to use a chart paper, and everyone has 2 markers. Your time is starting now. 2 minutes.
Excuse me. Sorry.
So head to toe. And I want to see all of those creative juices flowing. My middle table is coming up with 3 unique interview questions. Oh, I have a 7th table. 7th wonder of the world. So which one would you guys like to do? Head to toe. Interview, can you do interview questions for directors? Can y'all focus on directors? Good job. I'm so proud of y'all. Good job. Ooh, I see the overachiever group.
Did you tell us interview questions for a director?
No, I told them for a director, but if you want to do that bonus director question, you can. You did staff. Okay, great. We have about 30 seconds. For their body, what do you want their mouth to say? What do you want to be in their heart? What do you want their hands to do? These are some of the questions you're going to ask. Good job, guys. Make sure you put some any words on your stick figures? I love it. You guys are star students. GT class, all right. We have 20 seconds. 20 seconds. 15. When I get to 0, I'm going to ask you to bring the room to a quiet. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, thank you. So I heard a lot of discussion, and I can tell you know what you're looking for. But have you found a hard time getting what you're looking for? Yeah. I'm so grateful that they asked me to talk about this subject, because we can't talk about the health of our centers without talking about the health of our staff. So we don't have time for us all to share, but is it okay if we share for a second? So I'm going to ask that the 3 groups of one person, how many?
One.
One person will bring your stick figure up. Please, please. And we're going to do Ellen/Oprah/ the morning show style interview. Come on, come on. Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. Come on. There you go, girl. It's a good girl. Yes, she is. Okay, tell us your name.
Jamaica Thomas.
Now she works more than on a vacation. Okay, Jamaica, tell me some things that you're looking for in that ideal employee that you're going to spend $2,000 on to train, that you want to stay more than 8 months.
That they come in already smiling. I'm going to be your customer. That they're coming in smiling. They're happy to be there. Okay? That they have a positive attitude and they're level-headed. They understand how to move. They're a team player, so they have to know how to talk to the other staff and get along. And children. And parents. And they have to have a love for children. A lot of people work in daycares, but they don't like kids.
Yes.
I guess I can work with them for you.
No, thank you.
They have to be flexible. Things change, hours change.
Yes.
Late,
Yes.
early, so they need to be flexible. And they need to be problem solvers. Don't call me every 5 minutes. Be able to solve problems. And they need to be quick on their feet.
Yeah.
Now, excellent staff, but they don't want to get around, get mobile with the kids. They just want to sit there.
Yeah, I've been known to remove a chair or 2 out of a room. This was where my chair goes. I don't even know. I have no idea. Can y'all give Jamaica a hand? So if you're looking for me, or you're asking the right questions to get me, you know, when a man wants to marry you, he says, baby, you know, will you marry me? He's asking the right question. But in this interview, it's just like a marriage. Is that true?
Yes.
You're entering into a covenant. You're going to pay them, and they're going to deliver work. Do you want that work to be great?
Yes.
Don't you want to be in love with them?
Yes.
So we have to ask the right questions, baby. So can I have one of my groups that had questions for staff to come up real quick? Quick. Yes, GT group is up. All right. You can use me any way you want, so I'm going to go ahead and hold your questions. All right. I am an anchor chart. Go ahead.
Ms. Carol. Well, first off, you don't have just 3 questions in an interview. So your interview is going to be much more complex and much more complete. But what we thought about was that there should be some actual very specific questions you ask. And so one of the ones we wanted to ask was, how do you deal with a pressure situation? And then you describe a chaos in the classroom, or you describe some kind of fight between you and the staff, or argument, or discussion that you didn't like. And so that they would have to respond well on that and give you some ideas of what kind of person they are and how flexible they are. The other thing is, how would you teach a lesson on the letter T to a group of 3-year-olds? How would you write that? How would you approach that? And then that way you can find out if they really do feel, if they have a feel for what's appropriate in their age group.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Awesome. So I heard her say 2 things. One was about higher order thinking questions, and one about the actual job. Because we are out of time, I'm going to let you give me 2. And my director group, can you come? Can you run? Can y'all give Carol a hand? Run. While she's running up, I'm going to go really quickly to onboarding and training. So you're not going to ask a director the same questions. Anchor me. Say your name.
My name is Venus. I, Venus.
Tell us 1 or 2 questions you would ask your director.
We would ask them how would they handle staff shortages throughout the center.
Because that's a major issue. If we're not in ratio, we're in trouble. 1 more.
What are your go-to steps when resolving conflict with parents or teachers?
Very good. Because, thank you, Ms. Venus. If your staff does not, especially your director, does not know how to handle parents, you're going to lose a lot of students. If they don't understand how to handle staff, you're going to lose a lot of good staff. Can y'all give yourself a hand? I just want to go over a quick onboarding process. Because it costs so much, it's called 4 weeks to proficient. My goal is to get a staff member 4 weeks proficient. The first, you may want to take a picture of this. The first day, we want to do our mandatory orientation and pre-service, but I do have them to shadow a teacher from the very first day. You're not going to sit and talk to me. That's not going to happen. You need to know what's going on in those classrooms. Yep. Day 3 through 4, they're going to spend, 3, 4, and 5, they're going to spend first observing a teacher, then co-teaching, and on the last day, they're going to teach and we're going to give them feedback. Week 2, we want them on their own with assistance. And at the end of week 4, we're doing an evaluation. So it kind of goes like this. We're checking in with them day 3 because we want to know right away if we don't want to keep this person, we want to make sure we know why. So we're doing daily check-ins. Week 2, you will be able to measure the proficiency of this person. By the end of week 2, you're going to be able to say, oh, they got it. Or, uh-oh, sorry, you made a mistake. By weeks 4 through 6, you will be able to decide if this employee is trainable and worth teaching. You have to have a probationary period. It's so important. And you know you can't make that judgment sometimes the first day, but sometimes you can. If you see a person hitting a child, just not complying, not reading, for example, they are not complying to what kids are allergic to, those are big things. They're not coming to work. If you don't come to work on time the first week, okay, those kind of things you want to watch for. And then last but not least, you want to make sure you keep your reviews consistent. I review staff every 3 months because I want to make goals. I want to know their goals. I want to know if they're thinking about leaving, moving. I need a good post on what's going on with the staff. And last thing is longevity. So the way I've been able to keep 18 of my employees is by making sure that they feel very valued. We do give paid time off. We also take our staff on a staff retreat every year. This year, I took my whole staff to La Berge in Lake Charles. Clap for me. That was I'm just so bossy. The other thing we do is we do performance bonuses. Right now, we're doing cash for Christmas. Our staff can earn $1,000 for Christmas. If you want to know more about that, you can come and talk to me. But they're working for that. It's not free money. But because of that, our center runs so smoothly. And these are some of the other things that we do. Tomorrow we have a meeting. We're providing lunch and games for them. And we have learned to build a team. And now my team knows what they want on the team. And they're very quick to tell me, this is not going to work. I don't always listen, but I do take what they say very seriously. So what's next? Take a picture of this slide. It's time to implement. These are 7 things that you can do. Create job descriptions. Decide where the best place to post your job descriptions. Create your own interview questions. Create a true training protocol. Thank you. Create ongoing motivation and longevity plans. Update your handbooks to reflect your plan, because if it's not written, it won't be followed. and then readjust until it works. Work it, work it, work it. Correct it. It's okay to make mistakes. That's how we learn. So these are the things. The other thing I just want to tell you guys about, for those of you who are interested in coming to any of my trainings, I have an absolutely free, everybody say free?
Free.
If it's free, it's for me. A free Facebook group called Child Care Millionaires. I'll have the link to that. But my Millionaires Academy is coming up in November. Here's the code. We would love to have you. No pressure. But if you want to know more about the strategies to make sure your business is healthy, come on. We have really great speakers all the time. So if you want to know more, there's the link. Oh, too fast? They told me time was up. I'm being obedient. Okay, I'll go back to this one then. So I'm going to be doing a training on how to assess your staff. Would you like to know more about that?
Yes.
So I'm going to be doing a training. So if you need to get in the group, I'm going to give you the link. Make sure you answer the questions or my administrator will not allow you in the group. It's going to be a free training. And I'm also going to give the tool that I evaluate my staff for free. Is that okay?
Yes.
Would you like that?
Yes.
Okay. So you have to get in the group because this is not a sales pitch and I don't want to overstep. So make sure you do that. And I'll also send you my handbooks for free so you can see if there's anything missing in your handbook. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. So all you have to do is register for that if you want to, but the training will be absolutely free on how to evaluate your staff. I want to get to questions. We want you to shine. So I hope that you are able to come. Here's my Instagram, my email, and the Facebook group. If you can get in the Facebook group right now, that would be awesome because we're going to be doing that training early next week. It's bit.ly Child Care Moguls group. It's 100% free, but you have to answer the questions. So real quick, if anyone has any questions here, I would like to answer them. If you've been having a concern with your staff, and I can do 5 minutes worth of questions, and don't act like you don't have no questions. We can let's figure out what's going on, and maybe we can help you. Yes, ma'am.
My biggest question is, how do you let your staff go day 3 out?
How do you let your staff go day 3? So the conversation is something like this. You know, the last 3 days in training, we've kind of noticed some things, and I would say what I've noticed. How are you feeling about the training? Right? And I let them tell me. Most of the time they tell me, I don't think this is for me. And I'll say, I was thinking the same thing. Or if they say, I'm really liking it, I'll say something like this. Well, these are some concerns that we have, and we're going to be looking at them throughout the week because we want to make sure that you're the right fit for the position and that you can have longevity here. So we're going to be talking to you at the end of the week about if we think this is a good placement. Either they're going to get it right or they're not. But we are at-will employees. It's not a contract. So it's okay to say, I don't think that this is a good relationship. I do appreciate you for coming in and trying to work with us. Yes, ma'am.
Do you, like with unemployment, do they ever try to file unemployment?
They can get unemployment for that short of a time. They can maybe from a previous job. But this is a question I get a lot. And I'm not a lawyer, so you can always consult a lawyer or an accountant. You don't pay unemployment, but you do pay unemployment tax. But if a person has been working for you 2 or 3 days, that liability does not fall on you. They have to be working for you quarters, right? In quarters. And normally they have to work for you 2 quarters to qualify unless they've been on a previous job. Good question. And your person at Texas Workforce can also help you with that. Don't be scared to hire because of unemployment. And make sure that your interview process and your onboarding process is long enough to make sure that you really like them. Yes.
When, I know you said you do the probationary.
Yes.
And whatever they request for the amount for salary, for their monthly, hourly, do you start like at a lower amount?
Okay, so about that. I don't care what you request. We have a tier, right? If you come in with this much experience, we start here. Just to be fair, I don't pay you according to your bills. I pay you according to the center's bills. So we have a stair step, and we pay more than the state average. So the state average is like less than $8. We pay more than Houston average, which is like $8.15. We start at $8.50, so we can go to $8.75. And then there are sometimes we start people at 9, but they have to have experience. The most we start people at is 950, and they have to have a lot of experience in CDA and some other things. And I can share that in the training because we don't have time to do it today. I don't mind sharing with you my pay scale at all. And my administrators are on a different pay scale. Good question. But they don't decide what they make. They can take it or it may not be for them. Any other questions? Who thinks this will help them in their next hiring decisions? So you know what you're looking for? So you have the power to get what you want. So remember, you are the lead in that establishment. Who you hire is going to affect every part of your business. It's going to affect, your income. It's also going to affect how people feel when they come to work. We want them to be happy so they can do a great job. So you're the leader of that. So make sure that you're exemplifying what you want your staff to be, and they will return that to you 1,000-fold. Thank you for letting me be with you today. Woo! Who signed up for the Millionaires Group? Okay. I would love to see you there, and hopefully you'll be at the free training. Thank you